The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Each weekday that the market is open, we meet here between the hours of 2 and 3.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And of course, market trying to digest some numbers, and those numbers were... Yes, they were not good for retail, and the market took it a little weaker on the morning, and of course by the afternoon they decided to start whistling past the graveyard once more, but we're basically flat on the day. We're off a couple of points. We're off 2 points on the S&P cash volume, starting to get back into the swing of things, but lighter than the last few weeks of at this time. Just a hair over 2 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape. Looks like we're going to just kind of drift out here. I wrote in my newsletter today that I thought today would be rather tepid. That is neither warm nor cold. And see some stocks out here that are really starting to interest me. I only have one position on in any of my newsletters. I'm thinking that we're getting ready for a nice little run. And that run's going to be probably between now and the end of the year is going to be short squeezes in very specific stocks, probably the ones that did rather horribly this year and probably have far too many shorts. And with declining volume into the end of the year, we'll probably see a nice short squeeze. Of course, since they are so hated, the calls on those are pretty much almost, I wouldn't say free, but they seem free to me. I certainly wouldn't be selling calls on anything that cheaply, but a lot of people just kind of looking at their feet and looking at their toes, and of course they should be looking up. And I, of course, was on vacation from Wednesday until yesterday late afternoon. And is there anything as tiring as going on vacation? My word, you got to do stuff all the time. You can't just lay around the pool. You got to be hiking up and down the beach. You got to be out sailing. You got to be doing just about everything but relaxing. And of course, this will be known as the great Thanksgiving of my nieces, where she had a horrible cold throughout the week. So we were always bouncing in and out of the hotel. She probably came back more times than Lazarus. You'd think that we were headed for the hospital and an emergency room, and boom, everything was back to normal. Everything was great. And then 2 hours later, passed out. And then 2 hours later, running at 100 miles an hour. But she was sick all week long and kind of put a damper on any long-range plans. Of course, we hit the links, and by the links, I mean King Kong's wonderful golf outing in Naples, Florida. But other than that, I'm kind of actually glad to get home, glad to get back to the doggies and the girlfriends. Did I say girlfriend? I just said girlfriend, right? I didn't put an S on that, in case anybody's listening. Anyway, we've got a nice time, but it's we need to get back in the groove, and part of that groove is getting back into the histoire to get this party actually started.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1990, months of joyous destruction by border guards and regular citizens, the Berlin Wall is finally leveled to the ground, officially marking the death of communism as a viable force. And on this day in 1990, I am there. I am over there trying to see if there's any business for our company, and basically figured out there wasn't anything in the computer field. There was the traditional video business, but not from the computer side of the business. And I was there for two things. Went and saw the, let's see, I was in Germany and in France and in England, kind of going across during this time. Of course, went to the Eiffel Tower, but also was over for a couple of days because if I stayed 2 more days, the plane ticket was $1,500 less. So I ended up staying 2 more days in Germany while this was all going on. And very interesting. Of course, a lot of people from the other side were trying to trade me tanks and AK-47s and anything that was warlike so that they could buy video equipment. Of course, didn't have a lot of places to put a T-72 tank, although in retrospect, I probably should have bought one. That way, anytime any of my neighbors would give me a hard time, I just have to point to the T-72 tank. There it is, buddy. You think you're going to outgun me? I got a tank. Well, I didn't do that. Although one of my pseudo friends in Cincinnati at the time took a garbage bag. It wasn't a garbage bag. It was actually a paper bag from a grocery store full of cash at the end of a runway and bought a jet, a Russian training jet. Boy, you talk about living life on the edge. Of course, the joke was on him because when he tried to get it back in and they'd shipped it to him, they left the 20-millimeter cannons with ammunition in the wings of the jet. And it took him a year to get it through customs. They had to destroy the 20 Mike weapons in it, but he finally got it. It took him another year to get the thing airworthy here, and then he started flying it. But a lot of people flying those, I think they were not Lithuanian. Maybe, I think they were Polish-made training jets for Russia. But all that in 1990, and what else can you say? Of course, old Juan Valdez, no, not the coffee guy, just the Juan, is saying that they're going to put the International Monetary Fund says they're going to admit China's yuan, not Juan Valdez, into the benchmark currency basket in a victory for Beijing's campaign for recognition as a global economic power. I don't have any problem with that. I just know that everything that they're telling everybody is probably got to be put together with one of those giant mounds of salt that you see up north when they're going to salt the roads all winter long. I think that's how much salt you probably need to put with most of it. Of course, they've been undertaking a flurry of reforms in recent months, including better access to foreigners to Chinese currency markets, more frequent debt issuance, and expanded yuan trading hours. And, man, you got to say that you got to like Chinese, and they've got to like us today, as we actually say that their currency is worth something.
I like Chinese. I like Chinese.
Oh, we like them, and I just don't like their stock market, but that's it. What else do we have going on out here today? Other things is Lululemon, the maker of expensive yoga apparel, fell more than 7%. Last time I looked at them, they were down about 5% after FBR analyst Susan Anderson downgraded the stock to underperform. They're kind of like underwear. I wonder if it underperformed. Slashed the price target, citing a pileup of inventory and heavy discounting. Many people that said that they went to the stores over the weekend, that the action was not on the high-priced new things, but, of course, in the bargain bins where everybody was diving for deals. And, of course, other things going on. We were talking about being over in Germany this time in 1990. Other things going on. Of course, not a lot of movement in the markets today. Probably the biggest move was in the German market. I suspect we've got a little bit of short squeeze. Of course, we've got Euro decision on Thursday. for their interest rate hikes. But I think everything that Germany wants, which is a weaker euro, is finally done it. But I think also a lot of these German manufacturers of cars and a few of the banks and some of the other companies out there that had been doing horribly now are seeing a little bit of a short squeeze. Anyway, up almost 1%, and almost all on the back of stocks that have been doing rather poorly. And most of those were up somewhere between 1 and 2%. But Lindy was the weakest performer. I wonder if that's the Lindy from the chocolates. Didn't check that out. I'm going to have to check that out. It was down 1.6%, but probably going to see a little bit more strength in that if we can consider or continue to see weakness in the euro. Of course, the dollar, the big story, it is over 100, and it looks like it's going to stay over 100. The continuous contract is at 118 cents, got up to 131. Not a lot of movement in it either. I suspect that the markets, we need to get back to some volume and some movement. And right now, a little of either. But, we're off, 1.5 points on the S&P cash. It's going to take a couple of days to digest this and figure out if what we see in the retail sector is actually what we got reported over the weekend. But I think a lot of light and variable is a good way to describe the markets until we really get moving. Of course, Monday and Tuesday last week was a rollover of options. And Wednesday, we're going into Thanksgiving. Friday, we had short numbers and didn't really see a lot going on there. Today, we've got a little bit better visibility, but we have some other news out here. Ford, of course, look like their bargaining agreement is done. Looks like it's going to cost them about $600 million more per year for that UAW agreement. Probably cheaper than the strike. And of course, Target was having problems all day long for their Cyber Monday. They've been kicking off. Basically, what they did was start locking the entrances to their site. They were giving 15% off on just about everything. Of course, it overwhelmed the site, forcing the company to set up a virtual waiting line for some customers, basically just saying that we're not going to answer any calls from a variety of IP addresses. So maybe it was for the last 30 minutes, maybe it was Comcast. Before that, maybe it was Time Warner. And then maybe before that was other things like Verizon. But just shutting off IP addresses at will, like they are being viciously attacked with a denial of service attack, was the only way that they could keep their websites up and running. And I think it's starting to wear off a little bit. Looking through all the ads and the things that I were looking for, I found almost nothing. I have to say that maybe I've spent 50 or 60 bucks so far. Not a lot in here that I thought was worth buying on the ad so far. Maybe that'll change in the weeks to come. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute. Start answering some questions in the den and off the email.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crisp crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And yeah, the question of what I was buying out there, I bought some Tupperware stuff, a knife that was on sale, some electronic components, some socks for my nephew, and a DSLR from Adorama that was on sale this morning. And there's just not a lot of stuff out there. But anyway, very interesting to see a lot of discussions about the long lines in front of Apple. And, of course, long lines in front of Microsoft. And apparently from the word, I haven't seen it, but I'm going to go probably to Best Buy this week a couple of times and watch and see how many people go after the Surface. But apparently that's a lot of people very interested in that. My nephew is a CFO at a rather large hospital out west. And his IT guys talked him into buying a MacBook Air. And he says he's got all kinds of problems with networking into the systems they have. And he's probably going to sell it and buy a Surface Book Pro. So anyway, I think his was about $2,100 for that Apple. But he's got to now find a home for it. But I didn't know there was that many problems with networking. Apparently all the software was fine. He just has real problems with the hospital's own network and running apples on it. Just doesn't like a lot of the network stacks. Anyway, Target, a little bit, the embarrassment of riches, too many people coming up, trying to take their 15% off just about anything. It is a mad market. So we're going to get to charts here fairly quickly if I can find my charts. But that's it. And of course, if you want a great deal here, you might want to check out Slick Deals. That's one word, .net. It's a great website, and it's got all kinds of ads of probably the best stuff on sale. It may not be what you want, but it's not like, 5% off. They're generally pretty good deals. Had a question in the den as we get ready for our charts, and that is, what do I suspect for how long this bull market goes? Well, do you think this bull market runs months or more or years more? And I suspect we're probably going to have a major pullback at the beginning of the year. And I think that could last through 2016 and probably 2017. So I suspect that would be it. I don't know anybody buying the Apple Watch. Most of those have already found the drawer for most people. I didn't see any in all my travels this weekend. Of course, probably not a lot of people wearing them to the beach or sailing, but it was pretty quiet. Anyway, I wanted to look at Lululemon here. I'll take a quick look. This chart's probably pretty horrible. I don't know if that's going to really change anything to really speak of, but you got a nice gap down. Volume is pretty decent. When we look at a little longer time from 2 years, you basically had the story that everything was going back to normal, and you had kind of a triple top with basically two lower highs going back into September 8th and June 24th, and that was it. But I suspect that this is kind of the pattern for the general market. We may just be at the second one here on the June 24th one, but I think probably come around the first of the year, it's going to look like this September 8th high in Lululemon, and that's probably just going to start into the new year. We're going to start seeing rather large tax increases in the form of health care. And in fact, a great deal of people would be able to buy a new car with the amount of money that their family insurance is going up for health care in the beginning of the year. I think that's really going to change the outlook. In fact, a lot of people I've talked to already have already talked about what they're going to do next year and what they're not going to be buying as those health care insurance rates go up fairly strongly. And we'll see. Anyway, Lululemon, of course, this thing's probably headed back down to 43.14, which was the November 17th low. There's just not a lot. You'd really have to see a change in buying patterns out here. And of course, you've got the October 15th, 2014 low at 37.86. I would not be surprised if 43 does not hold. It's going down to that 38.86 of October 15th of 2014. We'll be back in just a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's true. Life is all about choices. At Everbank, they're making it easy for you to make a smart one with this special cash offer. Open a new yield pledge money market account with funds from another financial institution, or deposit new funds into an existing yield pledge money market account, and you could earn up to a $500 cash reward. And if you're opening a new account, you'll also get their new higher 6-month bonus interest rate, along with their yield pledge promise that ensures your yield will always be in the top 5% of competitive accounts at banks nationwide. Open a new account or add to one. It's your choice. To qualify, you must meet balance and other limited time offer requirements. Go to everbank.com/TFNN for details and deposit options, or speak with one of their banking specialists at 1-855-750-4051 for more information. You must act by December 31st, 2015 to be eligible. Everbank is a member FDIC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And people in the den talking about buying drones for Christmas. I don't think everybody knows that you're going to have to be licensed. That will probably come out in the next week or two. But I think it's going to be anything more than about half a pound for a drone is going to have to be licensed. Anyway, they're finalizing that, I think, this week. But you're going to have a drone license. And if you do not have one, I think it's a $500 fine from the FAA. So it's going to be rather steep if you do not have one. But I think it's all about it's going to be the weight. It's not going to be the size so much. If you could make one out of air, I guess it could be as large as you want. But it's going to be based on the weight, and they're thinking that, I forget what it was. It wasn't half a pound. Maybe it was 2 pounds. But anyway, if it was a certain weight, that was going to be it. And just be wary of drones. I know Amazon was out showing their drone today, which I thought was pretty hysterical. Anyway, Chipotle, I just wanted to take a quick look just before we get into the rest of them, see how it's doing. Of course, I guess it was just a little overdone to the downside. Of course, probably not a little overdone if you had been eating there. But if you were one of the people that won the lottery, probably still under the weather. I haven't heard any deaths underneath that, and that's what may have solved a lot of problems. Continues to be an issue on whether or not Chipotle can live up to their motto of food with integrity. Pretty blowhardy. But, that may be one of these things where they just, it may be the limiting factor in their growth, providing the food in the way that they want to provide it. And that's all the non-hormonal, free range, or it is actually free range. Is it free range cows? Free range chickens, whatever it is. Anyway, just kind of flat like the market. Not a lot of volume last couple of days. Of course, half day on Friday, but what can you say? For stocks that I'm looking at, and of course, you can email me at path@tfnn.com. What else do you want? Yeah, I think free range cows like India. Yeah, that kind of free range, isn't it? Anyway, Amgen, I wanted to see how this one was doing. This one kind of had done just about everything that you probably were looking for. Could it have one more range or run? Could. Not a lot of volume today out here either. But this thing's getting back up to where fairly decent resistance will be in some of these biotech stocks. This really started coming back down on the 20th of August. The first day it came down on 3.5 million shares. Got back into it with 4.8 million shares on October 29th, but popped right back down into the lower trading range. Back up, like I said, up on 1 million shares on Friday. The day before that, 2.1 million shares. The day before that, 3.6 million shares. But down on lighter volume, but not as light as Friday. Going to exceed that. But it looks just like a lot of these are going to have resistance levels setting up on this one about 165, 167. So I'm going to be watching those over the next few days. But that certainly looks like we're starting to get in some of those. Got a few stocks that look like they might be trying to make them lows. Enbridge, ENB is one of these. Energy was a little bit too much for me to buy it, but doesn't mean that it's not going to try to bottom out for a little while. September 29th, this had 1.8 million shares at 35.54. Gapped below that on Friday. We got a little doji out here today, both of them on light volume. It's going to be much lighter than that 1.8 million shares. On a profile, if you're not familiar with this particular company, it operates as an energy transportation and distribution company in the United States and Canada. And of course, it does a lot of liquefied natural gas and some other stuff. And of course, we're coming up on the subject of Andy Heck's webinar from, a week or two ago. And the question is, what's going to happen at that OPEC meeting? Will there be enough backbone to make the Saudis quit pumping? And my guess is the answer is no. But Andy has a few articles. Maybe he'll post those in the den. If not, I will. Out today on Seeking Alpha on those commodities. But pretty light volume. The energy did pick up from that October 16th high, though. So I think that's all you need to say about that. Is it doesn't look good, other than maybe we found some temporary bottoms out here in some of this stuff. Highwood Properties, HIW is the symbol for this guy. Light volume on Friday, light volume again today as it tried to get into its October 28th high. That had 1.1 million shares, $44.37. So missed it by a nickel today. Maybe we'll get another run at it, but not a lot of volume either out here, either up or down. And of course, if we look at the indexes out here, we're off, 3 points today, 2.2 billion shares. So volume is very light today. And I don't know if you can say anything more about it than that. As Forrest Gump said, that's all I got to say about that. Nike, of course, was supposed to be making some huge breakouts. Everybody was kind of trying to get ahead of this for Christmas presents, and the numbers probably a little light. And, you really had some light volume as it pierced it on Friday. It was going up against the October 19th high, 133.52, 6.2 million shares. Got into it by Friday, but with 2.3 million shares. and just a little bit above it, but no real juice, no real, or at least not enough strength to really make people sit up and make it pay attention. Of course, this thing did gap up on severe volume of 9.5 million shares on the 20th of November. But and we're down on the lighter volume out here. Is it going to fall apart? No. But it looks to me like this thing could be in more of a trading range from about the 118 level up to this 135 level. Probably really have to see some numbers change. I think just about all the good news is probably in for Nike, and they should just do it. Pembroke Pipeline, again, a lot of these companies look like they are coming in with lighter volume into these lows. This is PBA. The August 24th low gapped down and had some pretty nice reversal at 2301. We're into that and a little lower today. That had 880,000 shares and kind of gapped down below that today, but just 260,000 shares so far. So fairly light in some of these stocks that have been sold off unmercifully. Maybe some news in the OPEC is what these companies are waiting for. If they don't get it, my guess is that they go even lower. Signature Bank, SBYN. This thing is playing with its high, the July 21st high on it, 155.84, 870,000 shares. Tried to spike through it with 900,000 shares, but went right back into the trading range next couple of days after that. Now it's back up here again. The last 4 days, the volume has been about half that previous high. Watching a few of these out here. I think it's a regional bank. Don't know exactly where from. And of course, if you are bearish, you probably like the TNA chart out here, just in the fact that it's back up to its gap down that started on the 20th of September, or August, excuse me. It tried to get back into it with 5 million shares. When it went down, it went on 7.8 million shares. It's back into it today, touched it with just 2.5 million shares. So I think we can probably make a pretty good guess that this is where the real resistance happens over the next few weeks and probably through the end of the year. What else do we have? UDR, another one that's kind of kissing high. It's back into the trading range. What does this guy do? Just so I don't tell you wrong, I'll look it back up. Independent Real Estate Investment Trust. Ooh, a REIT. 1.8 million shares on October 23rd. On Friday, 1.2 million shares. So not too bad. But today it tried to go higher. Same thing, about 1.2 million shares and back into the trading range. We want to keep an eye on a few of those. Other stocks of interest. Williams Partners, of course, another one of these in the energy sector. Now, this has been one that has hit its low with fairly lighter volume and has continued down. Not a lot of volume on Friday, a little bit more today, but not a lot of price action. September 29th, $29.10, 4.4 million shares. And as we look in those last 4 days as it went through that low, you had 1.5 million shares, 2.3 million shares, 872,000 shares on Friday, and today 1.6 million shares. So we are dramatically less than half the volume of that September 29th low. And as I said, I suspect we've got a lot of movement that is mostly set up for this OPEC meeting and maybe what it means to us in the near future. Casey's General Store, we've been talking about this one for a while. Wanted to see how it did. This thing had been hanging up here with very light volume. Looks like it's trying to come back into this trading range. We were looking at the September 9th low in that, or high, excuse me, 114.90, 740,000 shares over the last 3 days. We had 140,000 shares, 87,000 shares on Friday. Today, 241. So getting a little bit of reversal back up here in the Casey's General Store. Anyway, this is huge glass. Let's check some email and see if we've got anybody. Want me to look at IBM. Again, you can email me at path@tfnn.com, and we can take a look at that. Yeah, you got a little bounce going here in IBM. But to me, this thing's probably just in a trading range, probably into the end of the year, between 135 and 145. Could this, just on short covering, make it back up to 145? I think the answer is yes. But again, we're starting to see a lot of these resistance levels show up on some of these stocks that come out. CATY, Cathay, General Bank Corp, another one of these stocks in the financial sector that's up here at its previous highs. The July 22nd high was 34.75, 1.4 million shares. Tried to get into that, and it was into that candle on the 6th of November with 716,000 shares, so 50%. We go through the last 5 days of this and just the volumes as it's hung up at these highs: 462,000 shares, 276,000 shares, 427,000 shares, 344,000, 154,000 today, 125,000. So not a lot of juice in these stocks yet today. Edwards Life Sciences, this one had broken out, but it was another one that, even if you are very conservative, is above its July 29th low or high. Why do I keep saying low? July 29th high, 159 even on that day with 1.9 million shares. As we broke through that on Wednesday of last week, 646,000 shares, 377,000 shares today, 613,000 shares. So let's say we do 850,000 shares, still half of that July 29th volume high. And doesn't mean we can't see that all the way through Christmas. It becomes very tough to sell a market down in the last 30 days of the year. Let's sell hotel properties. This one's kind of bouncing around its previous low of September 29th, $27.70. Got below it, pierced it on the 24th, did it on half the volume, 1.1 million shares. Now it's back in, but no real juice either. And, you know, this is at either highs or lows. We got about the same energy on the way up and same way energy on the way down. These stocks are not breaking their lows, but very indeterminate, not a lot. Now, this did gap down with huge volume of 10 million shares back on the 23rd of October. So you can kind of say that that's what we're getting into. But, I mean, not a whole lot of juice to push these down, not a whole lot of juice to push them higher. Southwest Airlines, we were talking about this one last week, and I thought this doji was going to set up at least a high. Not a huge pullback off this one, but he had a good signal, and that was this January 29th, 2015 high at 47.17. It had 9.3 million shares. Just never, you know, we went through it over the last 18th, 19th, 20th, and 23rd, but the best you could get was 6.1 million shares going into that January 29th high. We're back in the range. We'll be back in a minute. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed with TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Well, it's going to be a busy week for economic news and speeches. And, of course, the Fed's out there singing their theme song. We've got, 4 or 5 of them speaking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we're going to see, again, a lot of stuff going on in that. But I don't know what else you can say. Anyway, going to look at Valero. We were talking about this last week. It was just hanging up on its highs. It's back in the trading range. Of course, this one is all about the crack spread, but still no juice up here at the high, and that's what we care about. August 13th, $71.50, 8.9 million shares. We got into it on November 24th with 5.7 million shares. We're kind of pulling back, but, volume is picking up compared to Wednesday and Friday. So we're probably going to have a little bit more. Doesn't mean this thing's going to fall out of bed, but looks to me like a lot of these stocks that had been running and pushing the market up in at least this sector, going to probably take a breath back out here again. Anyway, see if there's anything else. I want to look at WR real quick. Westar Energy, I don't see a lot in this. I think it's probably going to head back up to $44. I guess it was back in here when we looked at it. Let's see if there's anything else out here that goes back and catches my eye. I wanted to see how Booz Allen, it's back up in his highs. Volume's okay. Let's take a quick look at CLF. There were a few of these other ones out here with just no volume. And you got a little bit more volume in Cliffs out here. It doesn't, the volume is starting to at least come out of these stocks. Doesn't mean that they are going up, but you had your big volume day on July 22nd of 15 million shares at $2.28. Been trying to pound through this for a while. We are just under that, but the volume's been fairly light out here. I don't like the energy down from the November 10th down to the November 23rd low on this. But it, if you bounce down here, if you could go sideways for a month, you may have a little tradable rally coming out of some of these if they can finally make a low. But I don't see a whole lot out here in any of these commodities that say it's time to already start pulling the trigger. My guess, though, is maybe you could see a bounce out of these if OPEC does actually get a little bit stronger on cutting down on supply. If they do that, I think we're just going to add supply. So I don't know if there's a whole lot they can actually do other than go after market share. But that was one we were looking at. TripAdvisor's the other one I wanted to get to here before the end of the day. This we've been talking about last week, about how it just been hanging out here at these highs, a little bit off of it. Of course, a pretty gappy company. This one's got a gap up and a gap down, maybe setting up a narrower trading range through the end of the year. But, gap down with huge volume on July 24th with 7.2 million shares. Got back up there on a big gap of 20 million shares, but never really was able to bust it. Tried again back here on November 23rd as we went into the weekend with a little doji and then popped back down, and this has been going sideways. So light and variable is the call of the market. I suspect we could be kind of sideways into Wednesday, and then we'll see. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.